We're recording in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Beauty Birds podcast, where your birds, Tara and Becca, have some drinks and talk about shit we like.
Yep.
What are we drinking today?
I'm still working on that Game of Thrones whiskey because I saw that thing yesterday about how disappointing and like what a feat it was that Game of Thrones disappeared themselves from pop culture, and it reminded me that I had that.
Fair.
What
Get
about
that
you?
out of your house. You said that you were having a real drink, so I made myself a real drink, which is basically just vodka, lemon juice, and club soda.
It's a real of a drink as any.
It's more real of a drink than the like lemon malt liquor that's in my fridge from Trader Joe's.
Those look so yummy.
It's really good. It's basically like lemon juice plus Colt 45. They're really delicious. Anyway, we talked about what's in your face, what's on your face.
So we're going to do an episode on this eventually. It'll probably go out before this one. Yes?
Yes.
But I'm wearing Single Shadows from Terra Moon Cosmetics, and they're these neon, like if I point it down from the light, you can kind of like see how much it reflects, but they are like true neon shadows.
You posted a picture on our Instagram today, which will be saved in our challenge highlight.
Yes.
They're like glowing. They look so good. They are.
And I haven't touched this up since like 3 o'clock today, and they're still like glowing strong. Like usually, even my sugar pill ones fade a little bit during the day, even though I love them so much, but these are like still going.
They look great. Do you normally touch up eyeshadows throughout the day?
Not like if I'm at work, definitely not. But if I notice, like let's say I go through a whole work day and I come home and I'm going somewhere else and I notice that like the pinks or the blues have faded, I'll kind of just like touch it up a little bit.
Gotcha.
Typically no. Usually I just let it happen. What about you? What's on your face?
Eyes, as per usual, are a combination of Sugar Pill Fun Size, and I'm using the Huda Neon Pink. But I want to talk about the lipstick because it's still one of my favorite formulas. It's the name of which I never remember. Laura Mercier Velour Extreme Matte Lipstick. This is the shade It Girl. It looks much more subdued on camera than it does. Like I'll post a picture on Instagram. It's really bright.
Yeah.
I love this formula. It's so comfortable, but it does kind of set and it lasts all day like a liquid lipstick, but it's not matte and dry like a liquid lipstick. When it's really hot, this is my fave.
That's awesome. And I find those like pencil-y crayon formulas to be so easy to put on too.
Yeah, I think it's probably the most superior of that type of product.
Yeah.
My chair, the hydraulic like air thing on my office chair is giving out, and so it just keeps sliding down slowly, and like every 30 seconds I have to stand up and lift it again. So I apologize if you can hear that sound in the recording. I am in fact as annoyed as that sound comes off. What are we talking about today?
We are touching on one of our favorite topics of all time, and that is skincare. Last time we gave you skincare actives. This time we will do the skincare basics.
Yeah, I know that's kind of in reverse order, but we were excited about the actives. That's episode 11. If you're new to the skincare game, listen to this one first and then go listen to that. But I was excited and I wanted to talk about actives.
Oh,
and
totally.
Now we're going to go over the basics.
Yes.
So I thought we could kind of go over the rules, guidelines, our suggestions for how a skincare routine should work. Right. And then because our skin types are so different, I thought we could talk about what we look for in each of those like types of products or like steps in the routine. Okay, so the basic rules of any skincare routine, regardless of your skin type, is that you should have a moisturizer for AM and PM, a cleanser, and a daily SPF. That's it. Those are like the three.
Those are the rules.
That's the main thing. You should be cleansing every night. I would say like 99.99999% of people don't need to cleanse in the morning.
Yeah.
If you're cleansing at night and then going to bed, there's really no need to then repeat it in the morning. It's a really great way to strip and dry out your skin. I think people with oilier skin feel like they need to cleanse again in the morning.
Sure.
But you can dehydrate your skin, and then it's kind of counterproductive because then it starts producing even more oil to compensate.
Yeah, and I actually used to be one of those people that would wash their face at night and in the morning before work, but I always found that after I applied my moisturizer, sunscreen, makeup, like my face felt just as greasy as it did before I washed it, so it was never actually dirty. Just splashing water on my face kind of
Yeah,
does the same
I just
thing.
do like warm water, get the sleepies off your face, pat
Yeah,
dry. That's for majority of people, that's plenty for the
yeah.
morning. And you should be wearing sunscreen daily. Even if you are not really an outdoor person, if you like leave your house, get in your car, go sit in your office,
Yep.
still be wearing sunscreen.
Take the dog out for a walk.
Yep. All of it. Particularly if you live in Texas or anywhere that has actual nice weather.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Or even like in cloudy Pittsburgh because the sun shines through those clouds.
Yes. I was going to say that. Thank you. You can still get sunburn even if it's cloudy. And you can still get sunburn even if you have a darker skin tone. I think there's a lot of misconceptions that people with darker skin tones are, well, naturally darker, and so they don't need to wear sunscreen. But I have to look up the statistics. I don't remember off the top of my head. But people of color actually have pretty high incidence of melanoma because they either by society or whoever else failed in the education process of that are not wearing sunscreen as often and then not checking and being mindful of what those things look like.
Yeah. And also you're protecting your sun against the damage of sun, not necessarily the color the sun gives you.
Protecting your skin, you mean?
What did I say protecting the sun?
Yes. Also important, but the sun's going to be okay without SPF. You're not.
Yes.
Okay, so I wrote out like my suggested routine.
Yep.
Regardless of skin type. So I said for morning, warm water, actives if you're using them, but specifically ones that don't make your skin more sensitive to light. So like vitamin C or niacinamide would be great.
Yep.
Moisturizer and then sunscreen.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So 3 steps, optional actives if you want to. That's a bonus. And then for evenings, I said cleanser, actives if you want to, and moisturizer.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that the moisturizer can be the same moisturizer for AM and PM.
Absolutely. The only reason I would really recommend to anybody to use 2 different ones is if you have a drier or more dehydrated skin type, you might want to wear something like heavier, like more of a thick night cream at night.
Right.
But that's not necessarily ideal for daytime, especially if you also wear makeup.
Yeah, I agree. I sometimes use like a really, really heavy moisturizer at night too, or like a sleeping mask. But just like in general, if you're starting a skincare routine and you don't know where to start because it looks like you need like 2 of everything, they can be the same products.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely used to have more oily skin. Well, I think in retrospect with what we know now, I had dehydrated skin, but I was treating it like it was oily because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I would use like a more lightweight gel type moisturizer during the day to go under my makeup, and then like a thicker, heavier cream at night. Which maybe for combination skin is a good option.
Yeah, I think it really is. Also, I'm gonna add that my routine is the exact same as yours for the most part, but I use cold water just to wake up.
That's fair.
Yeah. And then it goes actives, and then just any other serum or thing that I'm experimenting with.
In the morning sometimes,
too? Yeah. Then moisturizer and then sunscreen. And then I always top it off with a mist if I'm not doing makeup. And then if I am doing makeup, mist comes all the way at the end after makeup.
That's fair. I have been incorporating a mist more often when I am doing my makeup.
Yep.
But I'm not using it as often like in my skincare routine.
Same. I use them a lot in the summer after I come in from like the beach or something.
Yeah, oh God, it sounds so good.
I know.
Are we using the same one?
Is it the Youth to the People?
Yep.
Oh my God, yes.
The Youth to the People Adaptogen Soothe and Hydrate Activated Mist. It's fantastic.
It's one of the finest mist I've ever seen in my life. Like,
I'm absolutely saving this spray bottle when it's
So yeah, I use a mist, and then at night, we seem to do this a little differently. Do we want to talk about masks?
Yeah, I think we'll get into the specific products, but
Okay.
I usually do like wash off masks if it's something like exfoliating is typically what I go for. So I usually will do a mask on nights that I'm showering before bed, as opposed to like sometimes I shower after my workout in the morning. Whatever, nobody cares. But I will cleanse and then do the mask, which I will wash off in the shower, and then I'll do the rest of my skincare routine.
Yeah, and I'll do the occasional wash off mask. Like I love that Korres BHA AHA one.
Mm-hmm.
But usually I do a sheet mask, and I like to put that on after my serums, but before the moisturizer, so that I feel like the moisturizer seals it in for the
That makes
night.
sense to me. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I do want to, before we get into the specific products that we like to use, I really want to emphasize sunscreen. I have a lot of people, including my mom, including like older family members who are always like, what do I do for anti-aging and wrinkles and whatever? And like, none of
Sunscreen.
the actives, like none of those things matter if you're not wearing sunscreen.
Yeah.
Like applying sunscreen daily and drinking water are the two best things you can do to prevent aging.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be a fancy one. Like I'm sitting in front of 3 right now, and my favorite one is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost one, and this one's like $10 maybe. I think it might have been like $7.99 actually.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't have to be expensive. I know Nick really likes the Sunbum one, and
Yeah.
it's like I think it's $17.99, but it's like a huge bottle, and
Yeah.
like he buys it once a year.
Yeah,
I
so it doesn't
actually
have to be like a fancy one or anything, but just sunscreen's really important.
I actually just got 2 deluxe samples of minis to test out, but I'm pretty in love with my Algenist sunscreen.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be hard to beat, but I'm curious to try.
You sent me the Supergoop glow screen.
Yeah.
In like the little guy, and I loved it so much that I bought it the next week.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't think I sent you that size.
No, I bought it. I love it.
I didn't realize that when they launched the glow screen, they also came out with the unseen sunscreen and a matte one. There's also a matte screen.
I didn't see the matte one.
Well, I just got a deluxe. That's one of the ones I have a deluxe sample of, and I'm so excited to try it. The unseen one, not for my skin, which hates everything apparently, as I'm learning since we got to Texas. But I really like those, and that like clear type of sunscreen formula is becoming more popular because it's really great for darker skin tones who are probably have spent their whole lives being used to sunscreen like leaving a white ghost-like cast on your face.
Yeah.
I think Kula maybe also does a clear one.
Glossier definitely does.
Glossier does, and I actually just got a First Aid Beauty sunscreen sample, but I can't remember if it's clear.
I think a lot of Korean sunscreens are clear. Not all of them, because Korean products are also notorious for like a white cast, but I think it's a trend.
Got a sneeze? Bless you.
Yes. Thanks. I think it's a trend that they have the clear sunscreen, which I remember back in the day, a lot of people in like the skincare world were like, hey, don't waste your money on the like American or like European version of clear sunscreen. You can get a Korean version of it for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, and I bet anybody who lives in or near a major city probably has an Asian grocery store. And like I know ours sell all the Biore sunscreen and all those.
Oh yeah, those are great too. So yeah, sunscreens, important, use them, and they don't have to be fancy. And there's so many options out there. Lip sunscreen is really important too.
Yes, there's a lot of brands now that, including Sunbum, that make lip balm that has SPF in it. I have one it's called Portland Bee Balm. It's one of the things I actually liked about Oregon. Really cool company, just making like really straightforward beeswax based lip balms, and they recently, at least recent to me, came out with an SPF one that will definitely come in handy in Texas and Florida.
Yeah. Do you use a scalp sunscreen?
I haven't in the past. I'm pretty diligent about wearing a hat if I'm going to be out a lot. But now that I have really short hair, I think I'm going to need to look into one. But also, I think I'm going to be pretty diligent about wearing a hat here.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm actually going to look into one because I'm not very diligent about wearing a hat.
You love hats.
I
You
do
love
love
hats so much more than I love hats.
I know, but for some reason when I'm like out and about in like a pool situation or like somewhere where I'm roasting in the sun, I don't wear a hat. I'll wear it for like around the house and like errands.
Oh, I have
Hats
like
are
floppy
my
hats that like if it's warm out, I'm wearing a hat.
yeah. I don't know, they make me even hotter, so I usually don't wear one. So I'm on the hunt for a scalp sunscreen. I've seen a lot of mist ones where you like spritz your hair.
Yeah, I saw one that got my attention. I was really excited. I think Kula maybe just came out with one, but I think it has soy in it, so I can't use it. Which brings me to my next point. I wanted to share a couple of things or ingredients to avoid and ask if there's anything that you avoid specifically.
Okay.
So things that we generally recommend to avoid that like we know are not good for you for everyone are added fragrance in products. To be really careful with citrus oils.
Yeah.
If it's in like an exfoliating product, I'd say okay, but like in moisturizer, in mists, it just doesn't need to be there. And mint and like peppermint oil, ditch that.
Right.
That's not like I was looking at something today and they were saying like peppermint was a good thing that they had in their product. And I was like, I don't want to put that on my face. Sodium lauryl sulfate, which is surfactant, I think is the word, but it's used as like a thickener.
Right.
It's in a lot of like body wash, shampoo, toothpaste, but it's in moisturizers and stuff. I'm pretty sensitive to it. I get kind of itchy. Yeah. It's not like an inherently evil product as a concept, but like it doesn't need to be in your skincare. And then
coconut oil.
Yeah. Coconut oil is like kind of having a moment recently.
Kind of controversial to like.
It's a bit controversial. It's very comedogenic. It's considered like one of the most known pore clogging oils. Yeah. And like, I love oils in skincare. I love cleansing oils. I love it all. There's so many better and just as easily accessible options. Don't put coconut oil on your face.
Yeah, I told you I was so bummed when I found out that, what was it, the lapis oil from Herbivore? No, the lapis oil from that brand, Acure. Switched out the formula and made the first ingredient fractionated coconut oil.
Why?
Oh, wait, another one. Soybean oil? Or am I thinking of sunflower?
Well, I guess soybean oil isn't technically problematic. I'm allergic to it.
Okay.
It's really bad for the environment.
Yeah, that was.
And palm oil also.
Yeah.
But like those aren't evil for your skin products. Those are evil for the planet products.
Yeah, so just be mindful when you're looking, but fragrance I think is one of the top ones. But I'm not nearly as sensitive with my skin when it comes to those ingredients, except for mint and citrus.
Yeah, I don't like if fragrance is like low down at the bottom of the list of the ingredients, it's not necessarily a deal breaker for me. I'd prefer if it wasn't there.
Yeah.
The things that like I'm not going to buy this product are coconut oil, citrus oils or mint, sodium lauryl sulfate, and then because I have my own reactions and allergies, any kind of like vegetable protein, wheat, oat, soy protein, etc. That's like a deal breaker for me.
Yeah. Also, how do you feel about alcohol in skincare?
I think I don't know enough. My instinct is always to be like, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
Despite my grandma's recommendation, I'd prefer if nobody applied isopropyl alcohol directly to their skin.
Oh, goodness. That's a thing.
That is a thing. She's like, oh, you have a breakout. Just wipe your face with rubbing alcohol. No. Oh, my God. Please. I can't even believe I just said that on the recording. Nobody do that.
Disclaimer. Do not do that.
Disclaimer. Do not put rubbing alcohol on your face. I think in products, it does have a place. I know like denatured alcohol is in a lot of stuff. I don't know enough to like advise on.
Okay.
If it's the first like 2 or 3 ingredients, I'd probably skip it.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. But I think a lot of like beauty gurus and like people with a big influence are always like, oh, this has alcohol. I can't use this. But I've heard from a couple of like smaller skincare, like skin influencers and like skincare Reddit, that alcohol really isn't as bad as we've made it out to be.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's
that there's
something that I
a
don't.
place for it in like a well-constructed formula.
Yes.
I would say Beautypedia, Lab Muffin, those are resources to look through. I always check on with one of their websites if I'm looking into a product that has ingredients I'm not sure about.
Yeah, I mention it only because that's one of those like skincare dirty words that I feel like people automatically assume is bad, but it's not necessarily like the end of the world for a product.
Yeah, I'd say maybe in a cleanser, I'd actively avoid it.
Okay, I know that so I don't know which ingredient is the cause for like drying out my skin. There's a couple of things that have like really negatively reacted with my face in a mist, and it had both witch hazel and alcohol. And every time I use something that has both of those things in it, my skin dries out, feels very tight, and then feels like greasy but dry later.
That absolutely makes sense. I know Beautypedia is pretty adamant against witch hazel.
Yeah.
I actually didn't put that in the list, so I'm glad you brought it up. It's definitely like a astringent product.
Very drying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think in a well-constructed formula, alcohol, I think usually it's denatured alcohol that we see on ingredient lists.
Right.
But I'll do some more research and maybe I'll like link any of our findings in the blog post for this episode for anybody that's like, what do I do about alcohol in skincare?
Yeah, I think a good place on alcohol is, like you said, if it's in like the first 3 ingredients, maybe avoid it, because that's kind of a sign that the bulk of it is filler ingredients.
Yeah, it's like a very drying thing.
Yeah. But if it's just at the bottom or like the tail end or like somewhere in the middle, once you hit a certain ingredient, I watched a video one time where a chemist was like explaining skincare ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Once you reach a certain ingredient, you know from there on out it's less than 1% of the formula.
Yeah, I would say like the first 5 or 6 ingredients is like really the good stuff that I'm looking for, and anything else is kind of a bonus or unfortunately often a deal breaker.
Right.
Like, it's great that lemon peel oil isn't the top ingredient, but that still makes me not want to use this product.
Yeah. So just read ingredients and like proceed with caution with things with alcohol, witch hazel, or any of the things that we just mentioned. Like fragrance is typically at the tail end, but still pretty irritating. Mint, citrus oil, all of them. So
yeah. So do you want to talk about what we do look for in the steps of our skincare routine? Like what kind of products we do like?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you want to start with AM or PM?
AM probably makes the most sense.
Okay, so my first step in the morning after warm water, pot dry with a soft towel, is vitamin C. So for vitamin C, I'm typically looking for those of you that have listened to episode 11 when we talked about actives, it's very sensitive to light and air.
Yeah.
So when I'm buying vitamin C, I'm definitely looking for quality packaging. That's kind of the main thing for me for vitamin C. If it's like in a clear dropper bottle, it's a waste of your money. Most of the time.
That Youth to the People one that I absolutely love is in a clear bottle.
Which is interesting because if I recall, that's actually quite highly rated on Beautypedia. So they must have a well-constructed formula.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of ones that you're just like,
So I don't think it's like a pure vitamin C. I think it's like there's vitamin C in here, but there's also a lot of other stuff in here.
Yeah.
So it's probably like suspended, not.
But vitamin C is a tricky one. A one I don't necessarily feel knowledgeable about to like pick up anything off the shelf and tell you if it's good or not. So that's one of those things that I definitely go to Beautypedia, Lab Muffin.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple other like skincare specific influencers, bloggers. Names are escaping me right now. Skinfluencers, if you will.
I would be happy to link a lot of them in our blog post because there's a lot of Instagram accounts that make like meme, like shareable image type posts about ingredients and products.
Yeah. That'd be cool. So what do you look for? What's your first step in the morning?
After not wash face, but like wet face and dry it. Usually whatever active I'm using, which you said vitamin C, but like I sometimes use niacinamide, vitamin C. I will use an AHA or BHA in the morning. I don't really fear. I know.
I'm making a crazy face for anybody who's not watching.
I know, but I do follow with sunscreen, so like I'm not terrified of it. But yeah, so anything that I'm experimenting with, serums, those all go first after that, and then moisturizer, then sunscreen, and then makeup or not makeup, then mist.
But okay, so what are you looking for in
Oh my God.
your active? Okay, let's say niacinamide. Do you know what you like?
Yeah, I actually have realized that I prefer it with zinc.
Okay.
Other than that, there's not much that really holds me back from it other than like terrible ingredients.
That's fair. I think The Ordinary has the niacinamide and zinc combo.
Yes,
That's also what I'm using and I'm enjoying it. But I think there's actually a couple others. Like it's a common pairing for I don't know why.
it
I don't
is.
know the science behind it, but it's a common pairing and I quite like it.
I do too. I have finally found that I prefer that to the Good Molecules one that does not have zinc.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know which one is more of like the acne fighting ingredient in it, but the zinc really helps, I guess, maybe boost the. I don't know, but without it, it's not as effective for me.
That's fair. What do you look for in your morning moisturizer? Oh, I just bit my tongue.
Lighter, like you said, how people with oily skin use to for like a daytime, nighttime thing. Lighter and plays well with makeup. So some of them that I've experimented with, like pill up makeup on your face or like pill up on your face after ingredients. So I think it's more of like I've experimented with a lot of different kinds of moisturizers to figure out which ones play well with everything else because I have to be like seen for the rest of the day, I guess.
I also like I don't know if I want to say lighter moisturizer because I definitely want it to be moisturizing and hydrating, but maybe in a more lightweight formula that does play well with makeup. I would say nowadays, for the most part, I'm using the same moisturizer AM and PM.
Yeah.
But I'm more likely to use the same moisturizer and add an oil in the evening versus buying an entirely separate moisturizer to use something lighter in the morning.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It does make sense.
What do you want in your sunscreen?
Again, just something lighter that will absorb into my skin well and play well with my makeup.
Do you care about physical versus chemical sunscreen? Do you have a preference?
I actually don't mind either because when it comes to the summer, I usually use a physical one just because I'm more out and about on the beach and I feel like that's more of like the common, well, I'm going to do my whole body, I might as well throw some on my face. But I buy chemical ones for like my fancy daily ones or chemical ones, but I'm not opposed to using a physical one. I find that they just leave me greasier for the rest of my routine.
I hate the feeling.
Yeah.
And I almost always break out whenever I use a physical sunscreen.
Oh, really?
I keep tabs on them. I know lots of people aren't fans of chemical sunscreens, but that's typically what I go for. I think actually my Algenist one is a little bit of a mix.
Okay.
But it feels really lightweight and it doesn't leave. I hate the smell. I hate the feeling on your skin of physical sunscreens.
I love the smell. That's like the most nostalgic smell in the world for me. I've been looking for a perfume that smells like physical sunscreen.
Guys, I think I might have to rethink the co-host of this podcast. I hate it. I don't like the smell. I mean, like body sunscreen is fine, but like I don't want it on my face. No. Hard no.
That's fine. I get it. It's okay.
Okay, so I'm currently going through a thing with cleansers right now.
You are.
We're fighting.
You are.
What do you want from your cleanser? What kind of formula? What kind of texture? What do you want from it?
So I am bad with cleansers.
Uh-oh.
It's one of those like old habits die hard kind of things.
Oh no, are you using makeup wipes?
No.
You're falling asleep with your makeup on?
No.
Oh,
I guess it's not that bad. But I
oh God.
like a gel cleanser that I feel like is washing my face. Like I don't use like a balm that often, and I don't use an oil.
Why is that problematic?
Well, because it's more like stripping. It's more of like one of those like it leaves you dry a little bit, and I kind of have to overcompensate with moisturizer.
Oh, are you I want my face to feel squeaky clean kind of person?
Kind of, and I understand not to use like I know what ingredients to avoid, and I use the La Roche-Posay one, and it is like a higher rated one on Beautypedia. It's a good one, but it's definitely something that true purist skincare people would be like, you don't need to use that.
I don't know. You're not using makeup wipes and you're not sleeping with your makeup on. So
I'm definitely not sleeping with my makeup on. I might use makeup wipes every once in a while. If it's like 1 a.m. and I'm just like, I'm either sleeping with my makeup on or taking it off with a wipe.
I mean, yeah, between those two, use the wipe. I used to only use makeup wipes, and then I don't know. I can't remember the last time I used one. Yeah. I actually bought we were traveling. We were going somewhere. I don't remember if I got them because I was going to Israel or when Nick and I were going to Italy. I don't know, but I bought a pack of makeup wipes, the Clinique Take the Day Off ones, like not cheap wipes.
Yeah.
Never opened it.
Really?
For like 3 years I had it. I think I just threw it out when we were moving. Even in freaking Israel on like a 10-day crazy trip, washed my face every night.
I'm lazier.
Damn desert.
Also, this isn't like the most kosher thing for skincare, but I do it anyway. I wash my face in the shower.
I don't know. You said that recently. Why is that a horrible thing?
Well, so I'm pretty sure like the warm water plus the skincare like dries out your face. I don't know. I've heard, again, skincare purists would tell me that what I'm using in general is drying my skin out, and that using it in the shower is also drying my skin out. But
if you're checking the ingredients, you know what you're putting on your face. If it's working for you,
it is.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So that is my come for me if you sincerely disagree, but I don't know. It works.
I love a cleansing oil and a cleansing balm. I do think that people with oily skin can find formulas like that work for them.
I have a few that are like...
I think it's fine if that's not your jam.
Yeah.
I have been using the Tatcha Camellia cleansing oil for like 4.5 years. It is pricey. It is like the best cleanser for my skin I have tried. For the last year, probably on and off, I've been periodically testing a cleanser, trying to find like an as good but slightly more affordable option. I mean, it's not astronomical. We're not talking like hundreds of dollars here. It's $48 for like a 5.5 ounce bottle. It's really expensive, but it's not like, you know, $100 a bottle.
So this is what I use for
I think I looked it up. It was what, 6 ounces?
No, it's 13.52.
Okay, and how much was it?
$15. And
I bought the ordinary squalane cleanser, which by the way, not a cleansing oil, not a cleansing balm, just like a regular
that's on my list
gel. Nick loves it. Like Nick, my male partner, likes a face wash and
incredible
uses it
that you get him to wash his
semi-regularly. Well, he keeps it in the shower. We've made progress. It took like 8 years to get here, guys.
I've told you what Devin said about washing his face. He doesn't want to ruin the balance that he has currently because, to be fair, his skin doesn't break out and like he doesn't really have any skin issues and it's not greasy. It's just normal skin that doesn't break out. And he's like, if I add moisture, who knows what'll happen? And if I take away moisture, who knows what'll happen? And on the one hand, I just want to be like, you're wrong, use face wash. But on the other hand, he has a point.
Anyway, I tried it for 2 days. My whole nose was like black. Like I could see every clogged pore. That was like the last couple of days. Last night I went back to the Tatcha cleanser and like my skin is back to fine. Today I did, in a moment of just like sheer frustration, order the cleansing oil from Tula.
Have you tried other Tula products?
Nope. I've never ordered from them before. They're kind of a influencer famous brand. Beautypedia doesn't have any reviews of their products. I read through the ingredients. There's nothing horribly offensive. If this doesn't work, I told Nick, I was like, I'm just going to use the expensive cleanser until I die, because I'm so tired of every time I try something breaking out. I had an allergic reaction to the Drunk Elephant cleanser. Their cleansing balm.
So much. Oh, the balm. Okay.
I'm pretty sure their other cleanser has SLS in it.
It does, and I really enjoy it because it's one of those cleansers that like makes my face feel clean, and I understand that it's drying, but I think
it actually is quite highly rated, but I know that SLS makes me itchy, so I'm actively avoiding it. I tried their, what was it, Slay? It was like SLAAI or something. Anyway, Drunk Elephant came out with a cleansing balm, but it has marula oil. I've now tried 3 of their products with marula oil.
Damn, so you don't want marula oil?
I can't. I have like a reaction to it.
Okay, I won't send you this though. I was planning on sending you this.
Bummer. It's a mini of the Drunk Elephant marula oil.
Facial oil, yeah.
I love the idea of it. I have like full hives, dry, red, itchy craziness. And I tried their lip balm, has marula oil, and I had like a huge reaction on my lips.
There's something in Burt's Bees lip products that also does the same thing to my lips.
Peppermint oil?
I don't think so, because I've used peppermint oil, not intentionally like seeking out peppermint oil, but other things have had peppermint oil. I want to say it's something to do with the beeswax.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, cleansers. I thought that was going to be like the bulk of it, because I don't know. It's an important one. I feel like it's harder to find a good cleanser that works for your skin than most of the other products.
Yeah. Also, a sunscreen is pretty tricky to nail down.
I feel like I kind of did okay in like my gradual evolution to the Algenist sunscreen.
Yeah. It's just tricky to nail one down that you don't feel under your makeup.
Yes.
You know, like something that doesn't make you feel greasier, or I'm not talking like one that'll break you out, because that'll just happen with any product that you try. Eventually you're going to find something that doesn't react well with your skin, but sunscreen in particular, I feel like is harder to find something that like you can layer foundation over, still put like highlight on top of, and work with your face.
I think that's how I eventually worked my way over to chemical sunscreens.
Yeah.
For my skin, they just react better. I wouldn't say that they're better or worse. I think physical or chemical is really down to personal preference.
I do too.
But yeah, I'm a chemical sunscreen on my face person.
I definitely prefer chemical sunscreen. And there's definitely a lot of brands I still want to try for it.
Well, I have 2 like mattifying sunscreens. It's funny that I have drier skin and I want to look matte. And
right. Meanwhile, I brought the glow screen to look oily.
What do you look for in your evening actives?
Evening actives? Just honestly, evening actives just to combat acne. That I don't mind as much if it doesn't play as well with other things that I layer on top of it, because I'm just going to bed.
That's fair. Mostly I'm just checking for ingredients, but I had a notable product mention since I am drier and more dehydrated. My retinol products and actually vitamin C in the past also have been like an oil suspension.
Okay.
So right now I'm using the Peter Thomas Roth Retinol Fusion PM.
Yeah.
And it's in an oil. And I feel like it helps so much with retinol, like is kind of a drying ingredient as is. And it really helps combat that and not like over dry my skin.
Yeah, that actually sounds really good.
It's really nice. If ever you are ready for retinols, I really like that one.
My skin's been pretty okay lately. I feel like I don't need to add or change anything.
My skin's been a hot mess, but mostly because I keep screwing with the products that I'm using.
Yeah, that happens.
I don't know. I wanted to like throw some excitement in there and try something. But I've been using the Youth to the People, like one of their moisturizers too. And my skin is like, can you just go back to the cheap Ordinary one?
Which moisturizer?
I don't know. It's like light brown.
Is it the mushroom one?
Yeah.
That's on my wish list. I think
you'd probably really like it. It feels like hydrating, but it's very lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you want this on the podcast yet, but you're about to be somewhere that's much warmer all the time.
Yeah, I'm fine with it being on the podcast.
Think, well, actually, by the time this goes up, you might already be there. I think you'll like have more exposure to your skin being dry.
Yeah.
And so you might enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm actually curious to see. I'm moving to Florida in like 3 weeks or so. We're just waiting for a move date from the movers. I'm curious to see what my skin does in a year-round hot climate because I've always been on the Jersey Shore where it's like, yeah, in the summer it's definitely different, but like I have that long winter to go through.
My skin was really different in Oregon than it was in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And my skin here in 5 months is super different than it was in Oregon.
And
also it's going to be warm all the time.
Yeah.
And also I was 2 shades lighter in all my like complexion products in Oregon, and I'm already not that pale here. Not that you can tell on this camera.
I'm really excited to see what my skin does. Obviously I will be wearing sunscreen every day. And my skin in like a winter, summer, fall, whatever schedule gets like weirdly pale. It doesn't just go pale like normal white people. It gets like yellowy pale. So I'm curious to see what my year-round like normal skin is because like it's definitely not supposed to be a yellow pale.
I don't know that I've ever noticed you being yellow pale, but I know you have strong feelings about not being tan.
I do. And it's not like a Jersey Shore tan situation. It's just like
anymore.
Since graduating college, thank you. It's just more of like I know that my skin looks off when it's not like the color it's supposed to be.
Sorry, not everybody can be like a beautiful caramel color. God, being attacked.
Maybe I'll edit this out. I don't know.
What do you look for in your evening moisturizer? Do you use the same one, AM and PM? Did I ask you that already?
I love the Stratia Liquid Gold one, and a lot of the times I do just use that in the morning and the night. However, if I use a mask or like a serum that might have dried me out a little bit, or just like anything special that isn't just wash face, moisturize, go to bed, I love, and this might sound crazy because I have oily skin, like a sleeping mask kind of moisturizer.
I think there's a big misconception that people with oily skin don't need to like use moisturizing or hydrating products.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. I think really like the products you want to use during the day and the types of ingredients you're interested in your cleanser, in your moisturizer, in your sunscreen might be different, but like you still have to moisturize and hydrate and take care of it.
Yeah. The Belief, is it Belief? It's Belief.
The Aqua Bomb or True Bomb or whatever it's called.
Aqua Bomb sleeping mask was like the most luxurious thing because I do have very oily skin and I used it at night and I'd wake up in the morning and my skin felt like a silk pillowcase.
That's a really odd comparison analogy. I really love the feeling of like taking good care of my skin at night and waking up and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
So to recap, AM moisturizer, daily SPF, PM cleanser, PM moisturizer. You should wear sunscreen every day. You probably don't need to wash your face in the morning with a cleanser. And we are obviously not here to diagnose, treat, or cure anything. We're not estheticians. We're not dermatologists. We're just nerds trying to help. And any major skin concerns should definitely be brought up with your doctor or dermatologist, and don't sue us. Don't sue us is
Please
really what we're getting at.
Yeah. This is not intended to be medical advice.
This is not medical advice. We're just sharing the information that we learned over the last couple of years.
You've been disclaimed.
Any final skincare thoughts, Tara?
Yeah, I do have some final skincare thoughts. I think skincare is the most personal thing that you do to your face, I guess. And what works for one person certainly does not work for another person. And even if you think you found like your perfect skincare guru and you're like, wow, we have the same skin, that doesn't mean everything that they use will work for you.
Absolutely.
And sometimes less is more. Like I have a ridiculous skincare collection and I find myself using like 3 or 4 things a day and just like rotating through them to use them. But like you don't need fancy, expensive skincare to have a good routine.
It's really, especially now, is really not hard to find high quality, affordable products.
Yeah. And it can be very overwhelming. So if you're just starting out, I think less is a lot more.
That's typically like why I start with that is cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen. Like that's it. That's all you actually need. Anything beyond that, actives, whatever, vitamin C, niacinamide, retinol, any of those things, bonus, fun, not necessary. Cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen. Them's the basics.
Them's the basics.
I think that's all our things.
All right.
Wait, do I have anything? No, maybe.
Okay.
We're going to stop recording. I'll be like, oh crap, I should have said that. But I think that's all the things. So listen to this. And if you didn't already, when you're done listening to this, go back and listen to episode 11. That's it. We'll see you next week.
Follow us. Smash that subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever. On YouTube, Stitcher, Castbox, iTunes, Spotify. iTunes. You can leave very nice reviews for us on iTunes. You can subscribe and comment on YouTube. You can say really nice things about us on Facebook and Twitter. And you can chat with us and comment on pictures and participate in whatever ridiculous challenge we come up with next on our Instagram at Beauty Birds Podcast.
Yeah. All right. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.